this digital currency that's that's really getting ready to take over our economy right now. Most people don't realize it. They think like it's a sidebar, like when it started,
Hmm.
but it's not really that anymore because the technology is so usable that they've been incorporating it and testing it and doing all this stuff for years. Apologize for the dog barking, but they've been doing this stuff for years, and now they are compliant with the bank standard, and they're about to actually become a bank. This company called Ripple, they're the ones that make the XRP, and there's other things they call derivatives or other coins they make that are also geared toward commercial exchange around the world. So there's other countries already on this. And South Korea is one of the biggest buyers of this XRP coin. And I was just casually, and my nephew hit me up and said, "Hey, you know what? You need to buy this." I said, "Oh, I don't really know much about it." He gave me one influencer, and then the algorithm took me to many more. And then I realized what they were actually telling us is that digital money is what we're going to. We already halfway there because we got Visa. And before that, we was writing checks, depositing cash, and writing checks, and that's like ancient now compared to where they're going with it. So the first domino is already falling. I don't know if everybody's aware, but Donald Trump has turned off the penny. The penny is no more minting. They're not going to make anymore because it costs more money to make them than they're worth. Same with the nickel. So yeah, the nickel's in the same boat. So they are going to go right up to the food chain with that. It's going to take a long time to cycle all that out. But XRP is not like the meme coins, the coins that are trading that are not based on really anything about people's emotions. People buy the coin, that's what gives the coin value. Those are just meme coins. What you want to look at is the bio on the coin, what it represents, what its purpose is. And the purpose of XRP is to transfer wealth internationally. So you don't need no foreign exchange to buy something in China or Russia or Istanbul or wherever across the world. You don't need to buy something from Mexico and get pesos. You go through XRP. Then what's going to be dollars is going to be also what they call the stable coin. So that's why they had different bills they were enacting. The stable coin is going to represent the dollar. So that gives it that change. Bitcoin is like gold. Bitcoin is like a gold brick. So if you're just running around town with a gold brick, how you gonna pay for something? Well, you got to go get somebody to sign up for a piece of that gold brick, and you got to jump through hoops to
Yeah.
break that down. You have a system, but it takes longer. With the XRP, it's more liquidity. It's more like regular money. They can transfer that amount right now. So that's why they've adopted it, and you could look up like a crypto sensei is his name. He goes into all the regulations and all the stuff they were doing to build up to this point, um, to make it legal, and that's what this big beautiful bill was, to make this legal and regulated like anything else. And they was arguing over whether or not it was going to be a commodity or whether it was going to be security. So security, it's a more controlled environment. And you got the banks more in charge, the Fed, all that. But since it's a commodity, it's more like a utility, just like your gas and your electric. It's a utility that And Visa, as far as money concerned, Visa is a utility. It transfers money. It passes money from your bank to a merchant to another person. It's being used nonstop as we speak. Probably 50 million visas been swiped just since we started talking. Well, this XRP is transferring wealth at maybe a million times that fast. You know, it's just it's called the blockchain. So what's been happening is they filed an injunction to stop what they were doing because they were on the verge of replacing banks, literally, because you could get a crypto wallet and you never need a bank, and you could spend that crypto back and forth and do business. You know, so they filed an injunction to try to claim it was a security, but it ends up it's not. But that's what held it down for like the last few years. That kept it from becoming a currency, so to speak. So, but it's like a stock. The coin is like a stock because it's made for a purpose to transfer money, wealth, but it grows in value as more and more people buy it up because it's like money is it's fiat. We all know that it's printed in based on gold or nothing no more, and it's printed as they want. Well, there's the same thing with the XRP. There's only so much of it that's still left available to the public, so they can't just mint however much they want. They mint it what they mint it, and the supply is the supply. So when they run out on the exchanges like Coinbase, crypto.com, and whatever, Kraken, whatever exchange still has it available, you know, once it's bought up, then it goes up. And it's going to also go up because of its usage by the government. And Ripple is actually a bank, and it's making stablecoin. Stablecoin is a representation, like I said, of the dollar. So there's more than one stablecoin. And that was another bill they made to adopt stablecoins. So the only ones that are really holding us up or fighting this are really the feds and the banks, because they know that because the feds are holding up the interest rates, they're way too high. People can't afford houses, none of that. So, but the stable coins are just the representation of the dollar. So their value is gonna be based on what a dollar is based on. Not fiat, but what a dollar's worth, what its actual worth is. So, I mean, but you know, I'm open to like Q&A. You know, we could actually look up a video if you like, and I can let them kind of explain some of this to anybody who has questions who might want.
Okay. Okay. Well, if anybody have questions, y'all heard that, then he's inviting Q&A. So that's what's up. This is a learning opportunity for everybody in the chat room, include myself and Marlon. You could just tell me the title of the video, or you can post the link in the chat of this Zoom. Either way, I can share it that way.
Oh, okay. Let me look it up real quick.
There's salutes to everybody in the chat room. I have posted the Zoom link if anyone's interested in building with us tonight. Shout out to Charlotte Monroe. Thank you for being a member of this channel. And shout out to all of the Fedora gang, to all of the members. Appreciate y'all. We about to share some clips with y'all real quick.
Okay, his name is Crypto Sensi.
What was that last part?
Crypto Sensi, like sensei.
Okay.
So it's spelled crypto the same way you spell crypto, and then SENSI. SEI.
Black Americans.
And then the video I wanted to show you.
That crypto Sensi, okay. And what was the name of the video?
This one was titled XRP List. And this one's about Trump and his involvement and his family's involvement, just to show you how real it is.
When did he put it out? I can find it easy like that.
4 days ago. 4 days ago.
Okay, I got you.
Donald Trump is working to reshape America in this new golden age of cryptocurrency. But what connections have we been able to establish between the Trump family and XRP? I went to dig in, and I think I have some good stuff to show you. We're going to go through all of that in this video. Let's go ahead and jump in and listen to some statements that Donald Trump has made about cryptocurrency in America and why it's so important to his administration moving forward.
Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that 2 years after many Americans are...
So Trump is saying here that he and his administration want to make it cheaper for people, regular people in the United States to transact. Also for government to transact. Using the old system, God, I can't imagine how much money the U.S. government was spending daily to move all of that money around. Even if you're doing it domestically, still very costly. And you got to understand that there's a lot of trading partners, a lot of money that goes back and forth between countries. If we can speed up that transfer of money, as well as make it cheaper, in the long run, America will save money. And that's been one of his goals, Trump's goals of his administration, is to save money anywhere they can. And I think this is one of the areas that they felt that they could have greater impact by making a few changes. And that's what we're getting right now. Let me play this one.
I want crypto. I think crypto is important because if we don't do it, China's going to. And it's new. It's very popular. It's very hot. If you look at the market, when the market went down, that stayed much stronger than other aspects of the market. But I want crypto because a lot of people, millions of people want it. I don't know if you know that Biden went after it violently, and then before the election, he changed his tune entirely.
So when what Trump is trying to do is basically go more toward crypto for America, and like break this down exactly what Trump what his ambition is. Yeah, we're gonna play some more.
Yeah, his ambition is to, like he said, transition into using crypto as the rails for moving and transferring wealth, right? So this stuff was $2 a share, and I've been telling everybody and their mama, buy, what you can afford of as much as you can, because it's going to multiply in value like stock. See what I'm saying? It's like it's gonna grow like a stock. So like if you buy 1,000 of them, and then it's worth say $3 each now, you just made a 50% increase. Now you got 1,500. Okay, if it goes up, because you got Bitcoin, and how long Bitcoin's around, one Bitcoin is like averaging between 120 and 115,000 for one Bitcoin, right? And they're just like a gold brick. They're just collecting money. But these coins will be used to transfer money, make transactions like Visa. So they're going to be a high demand for them, and then they're reducing in number. So what's going to happen is it's just going to start, once it becomes more scarce, scarcity creates more demand. More demand creates more value. And so they're just going to expand exponentially. In other words, it's $3 today, tomorrow it could be 10, 12, $15. So if you got 1,000, you multiply that by 10, 12,000. You see what I'm saying? So whatever that number is, you just multiply it by however many you bought. So if you buying it over time, you 200 this month, 200 next month, every, or 1,000 here, or if you got a little bit of money, you can buy a couple thousand of them. So that $2,000 that you spent, you're going to have about 1,800 or so. And now you're going to multiply 1,800 by by whatever the value is there. So if it goes up to $20, and they're saying this could happen before the end of the year, it could be at 10, 15, or 20. So you multiply that 1,000 by 20 by the end of the year. And that's 6 months. How many of us make that kind of money in 6 months?
You recommend people to go all in?
No. I mean, not if it's, all your money. No. You want to be sensible about it. Like if you got the money, do it. You know what I mean? But there's people that go all in like that and they ride it out. Because the wheels for this haven't started yet. The engine ain't even running yet because they just passed the legislation this past month. And then they still got to do the regulations on it too. And the bank is trying to stay in the way as much as they can because they don't want you to be in control of your own finances. They want to control your finances. They want you to owe them and be cash backing in debt. That's how they want you in debt, cash backing 3%. When they're charging you 29% interest, okay, on a credit card, but they're giving you 3% back like they can feel that, or you could feel that, and people go for it. They trick like that. But you want to be in control of your own destiny if you have something that's growing in value as its usage increases. So if you're getting in now, you are still early. You know how if you could have bought Amazon stock when it first started for about $4 or $5, you know what I'm saying? Now it's worth what, 500? So imagine you would have been able to buy, 150 shares of that, and then you multiply that 150 shares by whatever it's worth now. It could be worth 400, 500. So you just multiply that, and it turns into thousands or millions. And that's not even that much, But that's where this is, and everybody's focused on genocide in Israel, tariffs over here, all that. It's just so much distraction going on at the same time that people have kind of like a bad memory of crypto. There's been a whole lot of scams on crypto in the beginning. But, it was just something that was new to people. And they didn't understand what it was. But it's a blockchain technology that is able to track and move currencies and make transactions like instantly. And that's all it really is to us. Is just, it's an opportunity, to where you can make a considerable amount in a really short amount of time if you're doing it right. And I ain't no financial advisor or none of that. I'm just opening people's eyes to this opportunity, but you got to do the research so you know what you're getting into. Like people like Crypto Sensei. There's many more on there that the algorithm that'll take you to, and some of them will say, "Oh, it's going to be worth $10,000 a piece," and don't believe that. That's something that would take years to happen. You're making an investment that's gonna start to give you a return. You might see it go up to $20 and just take profit right there. I bought 5,000 of them. Boom. Yeah, that multiply that by 25, and then boom, I'm out. That's how some people may do it. But if you are smart, you will, your exit strategy should be, measured. You know what I mean? So if it goes up that much and you sell off the top 25%, Now you got cash in your hand and you got stock that's still growing. You know, so it's many options to do it. It's how you get in, how you get out, but you don't put yourself in over your heels where you ain't paying your bills, you're paying XRP. That don't make sense.
For sure.
That don't make sense. I'm saying, but if you got some change saved up, and it's sitting in the bank, it ain't doing nothing for you. When it could be earning interest or double, it's not going to be earning interest, it's going to be multiplying. That's where the generational wealth comes in. Because when it goes up, it's going to be multiplying. It ain't going to be a percentage of interest that you earn. It's going to be multiplying. That's what stock does. You know, it just boom grows in value, and a lot of people go and get their money to an asset manager, and which is your bank, BlackRock. BlackRock's one of the biggest in the world. They all in on that. And they're what they call the whales. The whales come in and they buy in huge amounts of it. And JP Morgan, Bank America, they buying in because they know that, hey, you know, I got to own this, or they going to own it and they're going to control their own destiny. So let me own as much as I can so I can still make more money. So, you know, that's what we're looking at right now. You know, there's I can give you plenty of names that you can go in and just you know, do what you do, Sanchez. You do that research, and the deeper you delve into it, the more you find out that they've been doing this for years and they've embedded this into the system. And the company that made XRP is applying for a bank charter and a master account. What does that mean? What does that tell
you? Let me ask you a question. What are the best sites and best practices for people that's finna start buying XRP?
The best practices is to take your time and find out, like if you're buying crypto coin, find out what that crypto coin is tied to as far as assets. Because now they tie into crypto to what they call RWA, real world assets is what they tie into crypto to. Dollars ain't even got real world assets. It ain't tied to no gold. It's just how much they print, how much the Fed raised the interest rate. Everything else on the dollar is debt, the national debt. You know what I mean? And so they sell bonds, which say, okay, that's an IOU, and I'm gonna give you that plus whatever interest that bond gives you. You know what I'm saying? That's fiat money. These are going to be tied to real world assets, like a bank or like a business, or like, you know, they're going to have some real world asset representation, property. You can actually buy property with crypto now. Not too many people know that. You can actually use that as part of it. You own what? XRP? Oh, yeah. How much you got? Oh, okay. So we're going to give you a loan based on your assets, because that's what they do. When you go to apply for a mortgage, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is, if you got Bitcoin, they let you put that up as, you know, leverage to buy a house. So, you know, some people might use it to buy a car. I wouldn't, you know, but it's considered all now as a financial asset. And so that's the new world that we're going to move into really quickly.
Okay, Sammy, thank you for the donation. She said she followed a YouTuber by the name of Crypto Hulk, and he gives the latest news on crypto you should invest in. Okay, Crypto Hulk, I'm gonna look him up now. I can play your video too. I forgot. Let me hit play, and you can let me know when you want me to stop it again. And shout out to everybody who joined the call, AJ and to my brother Jack. Shout out to y'all.
Already. Appreciate it. Shout out to the panel, man. Appreciate y'all. I had a question whenever y'all get ready.
Okay, yeah, but you can do it now for sure.
So I had a question as far as when it comes to the whole cryptocurrency and you holding and it going up and you make money off what it's worth more, right? But is it a difference in buying and holding and then trading cryptocurrency? Do you get paid immediately when you or more when you trade it rather than buy it and hold it, kind of like a stock? You know what I'm saying? Like let's say you buy a stock and it's you buy one share of the stock and it's $200, and then later on in the day it go up to $210, right? So you made a $10 profit, right? And so is it a difference in how you can like trade? You can trade it and flip the money and make money each by how many shares you buy and get paid immediately right then more than just buying and holding. Is there a difference, or can you trade cryptocurrency? Can you trade Bitcoin or XRP?
Yeah, you can. It's exactly the same. They're about to attach, all those derivatives like ETFs, NFTs, all the same things that they apply to stock, they are now applying to crypto. Okay, so that value you're trading, like say you have a stock that's worth $8 a coin, or
Right,
not a stock, a coin that's worth $8 a coin,
right,
and then you buy one that's worth maybe 50 cents a coin. So now you're gonna get a whole lot of them 50 cent coins for that $8 coin stock, right?
right, right,
So now you've traded for this lesser value but massive amount, right? So if that coin takes off in value, and so it goes from 50 cents to $4, now you just exploded exponentially your money. Now you can turn
right,
around and sell that while it's
right.
up, and you just made that profit.
Because
So
my
what they're
because
doing,
because by my understanding is whenever even when the NFT boom was going on, and when I first tried to get into a little bit of it, it was a coin by the name of Safe Moon, right? And and it was one of those ones. It was an altcoin where that was able to get in early. Like let's say, like it was worth four zeros behind the decimal type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
so for $200, nigga, you got almost 10 million coins type of shit. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
exactly
so
what this is. Yeah,
so anything up to $1, you in there. You make you if you get close to the closer you get to that decimal, you can still make money even though it ain't worth $1 yet type of shit, right? So that was my whole idea of how to make money off of Bitcoin, especially big money, is whenever you get in really early, type of shit, right?
right,
But like for
right,
example, what I'm talking about trading, let's say I bought $300 worth of this XRP that said what $3 and something right now, I think. All right, right. Can I
right.
can I can I get on there and trade it and make money every day? Can I get on there and make $200-300 a day, even though it only move, you know what I'm saying, up to $4 type of shit? You know what I'm saying? Can
Well,
I
here's the
trade it like
thing.
I do stock? Kind
Yeah,
of like
let
you
me
day
let me.
trade stock, you know what I'm saying, in currency pairs. Can I do it like that?
Yeah, you can do it any kind of way you want, but here's the thing. You have to know and have some idea, like a target, of value that you're trying to reach. You don't just trade willy-nilly. You're trading a stock, like say is the Super Bowl coming up, right? And somehow, some way, you know who gonna win, right? You really know who gonna win. It's almost like guaranteed that you know. You go ahead and make your bet,
Right,
right? And then you ain't gonna change your bet because you know who gonna win, right? So you just wait, 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 and when they win, you collect your money, right?
right,
That's kind of the situation with this particular coin, because they are becoming the rail that money travels on internationally.
right,
There's already many countries using and trading, using these rails to transfer wealth on. We got the
gotcha.
biggest market in the world. We got the just California alone right here is the fourth largest market in the world. And we don't even have our shit together as far as our government, because you know how our government is. We don't have our shit together, and we don't have our ducks in a row, and we're not up and running yet. But
If I
this,
bought, okay,
but
at
we know.
$3,
Wait, let me learn real quick. But we do know that this is the path we're gonna travel on. You see what I'm saying? We know this coin is gonna be the one that's gonna be their main utility. So you know it's just a matter of time before this particular coin takes off. Before this flight takes off, you know that plane is there on the runway, it's ready to go. They just waiting for the signal. They waiting for the little reflector, and they waiting for that guy in the vest to wave his hand and
right?
take off. You
Yeah,
see what I'm
right.
saying? You
I
this
mean,
is that's why I'm here, is because I know that guy. I'm just waiting on that guy sitting in the cockpit, waiting on that guy down there to wave them little glow worms that he got in his hand, and then boom, it's going.
right,
So, but
right.
as far as me being an expert on all the coins, no. I just studied this one to see. My nephew told me about it,
I
and
remember,
I
I
said,
remember, I
okay,
remember XRP a few years ago. Again, back whenever the NFT thing was going, back when it was at like
yeah,
80, at like some 89 cent type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I remember it was a
right,
deal about some other countries trying to figure out if they was going to use it. Like I remember like some other countries over there, maybe when they was taking it for their stores. Everybody thinking it was going to take and go to the moon type of shit. But let me ask you this though. Okay, so at $3, we had $3 and some change or something like that, right? And I
mm-hmm,
bought and I put in $500 on XRP, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay, that's gonna give me so many coins, right? I don't want to do the math. I ain't get good at math, right? And that thing
Well,
goes up to
you're gonna get, if it's $3 a coin for every $100, you're gonna get like 90 coins
90
plus. So,
coins. Okay, okay. And
well,
that
no,
thing,
I'm sorry.
it,
You
nine
you
coins,
divide,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. You know, you would get like at $3 a coin. You would for damn, my math's all messed up.
No, you
But
good on that because I feel that's kind of hard to figure out. But like it go up to $20, right? Is that's worth a multiplier where you ain't rich, but you got some tens of thousands. Like do a multiplier
hmm
like that
like
because I got like a share in it per
say
coin.
you bought, yeah. Let me just do the math right quick, because yeah, we're gonna put in a hypothetical amount. All right, say you bought 3,000 coins, right? And you yeah, yeah, 3,000 coins, and XRP goes up to $20, like you said.
All right, so figure out what that is now. $3,000, and
That's
it's
65.
divided by $3 and what it is now. $3.08. Let's say it's $3.08 right now.
Okay, so you want me to tell you what that will cost you then? Okay,
Yeah.
so $3.
Well, it cost me $3,000, but how many coins that give me?
Okay, yeah, you gotta go and divide by let's say 3.10. So, oops, I was wrong. I didn't get my decimal point in there. So that's gonna give you like 967 coins, right?
967 coins at $3.10. So then
Yeah,
it go to
that price.
$20. So that's 900 and something coins times 20 now. Is that correct?
Yeah, and there you got you $19,000.
Off of $3,000. Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. I got you. I
You see,
got you.
so it's a multiplier.
It's a
It's not
multiplier.
yeah,
It's
it's
a
it
multiplier.
multiplies your amount you bought by whatever the rate it is, and they're saying this this stuff could just keep going up like stock, but it's multiplying your money by the
It's
count you bought.
it is kind of one of them things, like kind of like really, kind of like it's almost kind of like a digital really gold if you talk about the value of it, continue to always going up. If it's always going to be used, kind of one of those things. Because I'm not sure how
Because here's the
Bitcoin
thing,
got to be like. Do they always know Bitcoin was going to be some sort of asset? You know what I'm saying? Because they're making Bitcoin damn near asset now, right? And so if they're going to be using this particular coin to be like the kind of like Ethereum was, you know what I'm talking about, because that's what
yeah,
Ethereum
it's
was.
Ethereum. It's like
It-
3,700 a coin for
right.
Ethereum. And
So
then you
let me
got
ask you
other
this:
coins
why they using XRP and not Ethereum?
because it look what they call liquidity. Like, cause like the Bitcoin is worth 100 and some thousand. So if you invest in Bitcoin, you actually ain't gonna own one. You're gonna own some. So that's the equivalent of buying gold. When you buy gold, somebody else is holding the gold. You just got a claim to somebody's gold that's in a safe somewhere in Fort Knox,
So they're
you
gonna
know,
buy a
or
cheaper
wherever it
coin
is.
right now. They're buying a cheaper coin that
They're
works the same as Ethereum, basically.
Yeah,
They're
well,
gonna
yeah,
use.
they're buying a coin that is that is like money. They're buying a coin that you can actually purchase something directly, and then once that goes to that destination, it breaks down into stable coins. You see what I'm saying? And the stable coins are just regular dollars. So if you buy something that costs a couple XRP and some change, it's going to be it's going to be that value, you know, and then stable coins. And then boom, your transaction's over.
I thought the
You made your purchase.
XRP was gonna be like the juice to move the coin, whatever coin you
It
was
is.
using. You know what I'm
It
talking
is.
about? Rather than charging you the
No, no,
XRP
no.
type of shit.
XRP is its own coin. It has its own value. So you using whatever amount of that XRP it takes to move to make the purchase or the payment. You see what I'm saying? But a
Right.
Bitcoin doesn't travel in to where it could break. Like you got $100 bill, right?
But are they making to where
Now, if
we're
it's
gonna
on the
hold
island,
XRP, or XRP is a stock where you can hold XRP, but you're not buying nothing with XRP, right? XRP
no,
is the, is
no,
is it gonna be like a tool? You know what I'm saying? Like oil, just like oil is. You know what I'm saying? You don't walk
yeah,
around buying stuff with oil, but oil is used for your car for it to go, type of shit. So is the XRP gonna be a tool that we don't
yeah,
necessarily
a
hold unless
utility.
you hold stock for it to go up? But we're not gonna be buying nothing with XRP. XRP is gonna be the tool that's used to make other digital currencies like go through instantly, type of shit.
Yeah, it's the rails. You in a locomotive, high speed train. It's the rails that train is
It's
riding
the
on.
rails. It's the
You get it?
rails.
Yeah, it's the rails that train rides on. So every time you own the rails, every time that train pass by, cha-ching, 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 and it's going hyper speed. You know them high speed trains, they ain't playing. When it goes by, cha-ching, cha-ching. You know what I'm saying? You collect them,
Do you know
and you
anything about pocket options?
No, that might be a stock traders type thing, you know.
Gotcha,
Me, I've been
gotcha.
studying. I mean, my nephew turned me on to this, but before I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna know what I'm jumping into. So
Right,
that's what
right.
I've been studying is this. And so I jumped into this, and when I discovered what it really is, I'm like, damn, why my people don't know about this? Why
At
my
this
people ain't gonna,
at this
you know?
point right now, is it we to the point where now I can hop on something and purchase Bitcoin, like let's just say like bro was asking, where are some of the websites or some of the best things where you can buy Bitcoin?
Well, it's well, Bitcoin. You can, like I said, you can invest in Bitcoin. It's digital gold. It's a digital gold brick. So it's not like you have a certain amount. You have a certain amount of a coin, and the story is there are only going to be something like 21 million coins, and then that's it. There ain't going to be no more. You can only own part of them unless you're really rich and you can buy a whole Bitcoin. Otherwise, you're just going to buy into that coin, and then you get a percentage of whatever growth that coin goes up or down. So you can still win or lose more. It goes up and down. You're gonna gain or lose money because that's what they do. But they're at a much higher price. So in order for you to own one of them, you got to have like NFL money, NBA money, or
What about XRP?
soccer
Like,
money.
wh-
XRP is $3.
where do we
When
get
I
it at? What's
started,
the best place to get it at?
you can get it on Coinbase, you can get it on Kraken, you can get it on Robinhood, you can get it on crypto.com. There's so many exchanges out there. And then you just start a
Quick question: do you recommend us buy it on Cash App?
no. Cash App is old technology. Cash App is not blockchain technology. You want to buy it on one of the exchanges, and the difference is between this, you can get what they call cold wallets. A cold wallet is air gapped. In other words, like you could buy it on the exchange and then transfer it to a device that's like a phone or a card, and it puts your record on that. So you can't nobody can touch it online. They can't touch it. You actually have it in your hand. It's called a cold wallet. And then you can put it, you can go take that, put it in a safe deposit box, and not have to worry about it. So I mean, it just depends on the person and how much value they put into it. I would say that if you were someone that could buy so many thousands and thousands of coins, you don't want to walk around with that on your phone in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? If you can buy 50,000 coins with your money, you ain't gonna walk around with that in your pocket.
Yes, it's
So
some pretty cool
cold
wallet. I
wallet.
just seen some pretty cool wallets out there back in the day before, whenever Bitcoin took off and nobody thought it was. It was a bunch of people that had
Hmm.
these digital wallets. It was like a USB
Right.
stick, you know what I'm saying? And it
Yeah,
and it would hold
it's
all
more
that
advanced.
Bitcoin and all that shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Same thing, but it's more advanced now. And once you look one up online, then the algorithm gonna start showing you commercials. You know how that goes. Um, but that's what you can also do. So, but you
Can I
can buy
talk?
you can huh?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah,
Oh
go
yeah.
for it, my G.
I wanted to say he giving y'all good information, but some of it is a little bit not quite right. Like when we don't use, first of all, Bitcoin is like the Mona Lisa of crypto. It's just the first. So it's like a proof of concept. That's why it's worth so much. It's like they prove that it works. And we don't use XRP because XRP is rich people coins. It's like the higher XRP the higher Ethereum goes up. My fault, Ethereum. The higher Ethereum goes up, the more the fees cost to use it to make a transaction. And also, Ethereum is slow, so we not going to really be using it. XRP is a banker's coin, so
Right,
banks around the world are going to be making global money transfers, like he said, on the rails of XRP. And the
right,
reason it's good is because it's fast. It works at like 6 seconds or less, and it's only a 0.3% fee on the transaction. So, like a traditional pay rail, like a Visa card or something, is 3% per transaction. This is exactly why the banks is gonna switch over. You know what I mean? Because it's fast. Like, say if we got bank to bank, you got Chase and I got Bank of America, it take like 5 to 7 days. But if those banks are using XRP, it'll take seconds to make the transfer across state lines, global lines, whatever. You know what I mean? And so
Well,
I've been trying to tell the chat about XRP for like 3 years now. I got it at 60 cents. I just made thousands off a few hundred. So I mean, it's still gonna go up. It has way potential to go up as high as like Ethereum.
gotcha.
And
That's
so
kind of why
yeah.
I was asking like the questions like, what does it look like? Just a quick math, real fast. If I put, I'm talking about $400-500 on, like he said, $3,000, and it just went to like $20. Would you say so? But you're trying to say it's got potential to go up like Ethereum. But if it goes up like Ethereum, wouldn't that again make the transactional fee go up as well?
no.
No,
What
because oh yeah, each blockchain got its own technology built behind it. So you got to find a coin that's built with real technology behind it. XRP is just a coin that the company Ripple used. So it's just a tool of this company, but it's a technology company. So they got
Gotcha.
other technology. They got H-bar, they got Soundbird. It's all connected
XLM.
to HRP. XLM is the sister company. XLM bought MoneyGram. A lot of people don't know
Yeah.
that, but MoneyGram operates over XLM right now for at least 3 years.
Mm.
So my main thing is I'm trying to draw attention to this is because the entry at $3, it was $2, but $3 is still you early, and it's a matter of how far you want to go with it. But you want to buy and hold and let it mature into something because it's nothing until they turn the engine on, until they actually start implementing it and making that utility work. Um, and that's the difference between that and Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is not going to be used as a utility. It's a store of value. It's a store of
Right.
value. Like you said, it represents that. Well, hey, we can do a blockchain and mine this, and as people invest, it grows in value, and that's what it goes up and down on people buying and selling it. That's all it's going on is people buying it and selling it, and so it's not a utility, but it's a store of value like a block of gold. But this XRP is actually going to be the rails that the system. It's like Visa on steroids, like Visa as the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Western Union as the Hulk. That's how fast and much more is going to be doing the most. And it's already bank compliant as far as the regulations for the government for international or no for federal usage. And so the difference for this is that it can go up as high as its usage permits. It's volume and it's all the different worldwide commercial usage. All that goes into it. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
something that
Also,
is
also,
getting ready to happen. That's like knowing that the Super Bowl, who's gonna win? You know who's gonna win. Why ain't you bet? Oh man, well I was thinking about it, but you know what I'm saying. Then why would you miss that bet?
yeah. Also, it's not like it's going to go straight up over time. During what's happening right now. See the run up. They said the run up was going to end like at the end of August. So they was predicting like $6, $6 to $10 by the end of August. It may not even go that high. However, people are going to take profits along the way. So as it runs up, they're going to have corrections. So that means as it runs up, people are going to sell it. It's going to drop back down, which give you a chance to buy back in as the market corrects itself. And so it's going to trade sideways for a little while before it goes up. So it's going to hold like at three
Let,
dollars or something before it goes
let,
up.
let me let me give you more of a sense of urgency on exchanges. Okay, there's only 3% left on exchanges. Okay, yeah, they buy and sell it, but the available for sale is in a 3% range. That may be a billion coins and a half, something like that, but still, there is a sense of urgency because when it does get out of your price range, when it's, because there's coins that are based on nothing. This is government approved. You got the president chiming in. They got the stamp of approval. You got the banks trying to hold them back because the banks is usually holding all your money. They won't be holding all your money now. You know what I'm saying? So you can put your money in a cold wallet and hold it yourself. I mean, so it's like knowing who to bet on for the World Series. The Super Bowl champ gonna be. The World Series gonna be. You know who's fighting. You know all these things because this is something that is going to happen. You already know it's going to happen. So if you hesitating at $3, you debating at $3, you don't want the money. You cool with what you got. That's just my opinion. I ain't nobody that, but if I know who's gonna win, I'm betting.
Oh yeah,
I ain't gonna
family.
bet more than I can afford to lose, but I know I'm gonna put my bet in because I know who's gonna win.
Yeah, the sense of urgency he's talking about is something called the halvening, and like every 3 years, they burn half of the available crypto supply that's out there. This causes scarcity and demand, and that makes the coins you already hold and go up in value. So you do have a certain time frame to acquire and hold crypto before it's all gone because they're gonna burn it up. So that's why they're telling you don't use it right now. It's too dangerous. But once it's all burned up, you won't be able to get it because it'll be too expensive. So you do need to buy in while it's cheap right now.
And another thing is it's going to be bought up. Like I said, the whales are buying it up. The JP Morgans, the Black Rocks, the all of them, they're buying them up. BlackRock committed 7%. Okay, and they might be the biggest asset manager in the world. So I mean, if these guys are, and Trump, they're all trying to cash in. You got to cash in when they cash in, people. I don't know when y'all gonna catch on to that part, but you ain't gonna do it outside of them. If you see they finna cash in, get yours. Because they
Yeah,
ain't
because
gonna.
the whole mindset of crypto is you got to be your own financial person. So it's whole
Mhm.
different from like stocks. We in the stocks is kind of safe, you know what I'm saying? When you're in the crypto, it's global and they expect you to be financially savvy. So like before I started crypto, I had to go learn about fintech and little financial terms. I had no idea what it was. But so that's why a lot of black people don't buy in because they don't know enough info to get into
Right,
it, like my mom and
right.
them. So they confused, but you don't have enough time to learn everything. You need to listen to people who already know a little bit and just go off like the top 100 coins and stuff. You pick some coins you like, look into the
XRP is like number
technology
three.
behind it. Yeah, now it is, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
always has solid technology. So that's why I'm saying if it's a coin that's
yeah.
going to have utility in the new wave of the infrastructure that they building, then that
They're
coin is solid because
embedded
they
deep
switching
in
this
the
infrastructure
infrastructure.
over.
You know about the bank, right?
Yeah, yeah, for
Ripple,
sure.
Ripple applied for their own master account.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of times too in America, see they don't people who not into crypto, we don't know. So when y'all was asking about coin exchanges to buy from in America, right? The best one for us to really buy from is Coinbase because it's backed by a bank in America. It's backed by like Bank of
Mhm.
America or something. So when the market
But
is volatile, you can get your money off of there fast. But if you buy from Coinbase, I mean now a Cash App or like Robinhood, they hold the keys for you so you don't own
right,
that crypto.
yeah, you don't want to go
You know what
to
I
a
mean?
money manager because a money manager is going to try to get your yield. Your
Yeah,
yield
they're
is
gonna keep your stuff.
multiplied, and they gonna pay you a percentage. You want to go ahead
Exactly.
and buy it directly. But at the same time, yeah, the makers of XRP, which is Ripple,
Yeah,
will be
Ripple.
a bank. Yeah, they
Right.
will be a bank.
Yeah,
Their
they was
own.
already set up to be that because their headquarters is in New York, even though their company is not stationed here, but their headquarters they made it in New York to be close to the financial epicenter of America, basically.
Right, right. And I've been trying to tell everybody I bump in on to at work, because I'm gonna probably disappear if I'm like, hey, where'd he go? I say, hey, OG, just he bought that XRP, and he got up out of there because it's like it's generational wealth if you play your cards right, and you
May I
can
say that?
actually you can actually use your XRP like a bank, like your own bank. You can lend it out, collect the yield, get 17%, and just put it to work for you. Like putting your money to work for you. There's ways to
Yeah,
set that up too, to where
yeah,
that will
it's called yield farming, and they also have where you can stake it and collect interest even when the market is down.
When you
You'll make
stake it.
money regardless. Yeah,
I've heard of
stake it.
that when you stake it. I've heard of that when you stake it. It's
Mhm.
almost kind of like what
Yep.
you said, kind of like loan it out, and then you earn kind of like the interest off of it type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
For them to use yours that you already got, rather than have to, you know what I'm saying? That you can use yours.
right.
So we become the bank. We become the
You'll
banking
become,
system
yeah,
rather than
exactly.
we
That's why the
use
banks are
the
sweating
banking
so much.
system.
That's why they're trying to block this. They're the ones that's holding this up really until they get a
Right.
good position. So what they doing is buying it up. That's why there's only like a 3% of it left. Who you think bought that?
The best thing to do, really, too, family. I've been trying to do this with my family. If y'all got a good family, just make a pool of money every 2 weeks or whatever. Y'all put $20 in,
Yes.
$10 a person,
Yes.
whatever. Because
Do it
by
like that.
now, I could have. If my family did that, I would have made them at least $10,000 over this last week, straight off XRP. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Straight off XRP every day. I
Between
would have
that,
made them money.
between that, HBAR and XLM, I did that.
Right. Then you can do
You know
that
what I'm saying?
easy. Easy.
Yeah.
Y'all got ten
Did it.
thousand
Yeah.
dollars. Y'all gonna have 20 in a month.
So
Easy.
you speaking facts.
30 in a
You
month.
speaking facts.
Yeah.
You know,
Day
I hate to
trading.
put it out there like that, but yeah, that's what happened. That's why I'm just running around, trying to get my people to open their eyes, stop for a minute, pause, look into it, see what's going to happen. Don't just, don't, because this is
Right.
like a
They
once in a lifetime where you get to buy into the actual system and have some stock. It ain't going
Very
to happen.
true.
It's going to be
and
up and
so
down coins. It ain't going to happen like this to where, they just enact the law and you done already stocked up on this particular stock. And then once it starts, it's not even on up and running yet. It's
yeah,
really
what it
not
is
in America.
the market has sentiment behind it. So every global war that happens, or anytime people was like, oh, a catastrophe happened or something, the markets all drop down. But they love this because this gives them time to buy more. When the markets
Mhm.
drop down, always buy more. Never buy when the market is up. You sell when it's up. And if
They
you
call it
hear
You
bad
got to buy
news,
the dip. You
you
got to
buy.
buy the dip. Buy the dip.
Exactly.
that's it. Exactly what I was going to say. They call it buying the dip. And right now,
Yep.
I thought it was over when it went up to 380 and threatened to hit $4. I was like, well, if I couldn't get people to jump in at 2, they ain't gonna jump in at 4, even though they still winning. They still
Should I
earning.
cut in, guys? I know quite a
Yeah.
bit about XRP.
The more
Go
the
for it, my
merrier.
G.
Well, listen, I waited for many years for Sanchez to have a night for XRP, and thank you. Um, what I've heard so far is all correct, right? Like the hours late, the window's shutting. Okay, this is central bank money. Normal people should not have it. If you have it, there is risk of them capturing it, seizing it. Okay, that's still on the table, right? Now, I believe, like many others, that, you know, from 2017, when it first pumped real hot, made the first group of millionaires, right? We are in a descending triangle with huge potential over 8 years. Okay. It's now reached the old all-time high and starting to test it. Okay. Now, people are going to get excited thinking, $15, $20, whatever. We're talking thousands, gentlemen, and beyond. Okay. Like the Bitcoin, the beta test coin, right, is being replaced by the exchange rate peg. Okay. XRP. Now, people have debated whether or not what it stands for, but like in monies, the like USD or Euro, whatever, they have a code, right?
Mhm.
X denominates means no country of origin. Do you see? So
Hmm.
now we're entering into an era of basically money is not controlled by governments. It's AI money now, right? It's like blockchain. No one owns it. This was just created. Who created XRP? A man named Arthur Burrito, David Schwartz. You see, who are these people? Arguably part of the Satoshi, or one of the group of them. It goes so deep, gentlemen. This is so deep. In the broader perspective of where this is going, the million
Oh, bro, hold
cryptocurrencies that
on.
exist.
They don't know who Satoshi is. Tell them who Satoshi is.
I think it's a group of people.
It's a government group, I heard.
Correct.
Also,
That created Bitcoin, right?
created
Yes.
all of
Yes.
All of it.
Okay, they started
All of
it.
it.
That means
Correct. I
when you
believe
look when
all of
you
it.
and when you start learning about crypto, the first thing they tell you is this is planned, and they started planning this back in like 2010 or something like that, 2008.
Earlier. Way
they
earlier.
got
They
this,
talked about the
they,
cashless economy way earlier than that. But the distributed ledger technology, DLT, right? The very first patent was made in 1988 by David Schwartz. Do you see what I'm saying? This stuff goes deep into Motorola. It goes into all this. In the telecommunications, they knew that the cell phone would be the driving force of the future, right? Everything handheld, everything in the palm of your hand. Be your own bank. Your crypto wallet will be on your phone, right? And it'll match your biometric and all that bullshit. Okay. I am neither for this or that, right? It's like even the Jedi use the Imperial credits. You see what I'm saying? Even though it is to basically, it's 100% count mechanism. On one side, the government can't say, oops, we missed $1 trillion. This is line by line. If this went to here to there, you can't screw the pooch on this. But on the other side, it completely captures us, right? But yes, the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, will all be run through Ripple. Whether or not the US says, oh, we'll ban them, the rest of the world's going to adopt it. And so, yes, we are going to be the key players for this. And so the big thing about the XRP is that, okay, so what's the use case of cryptocurrency, right? Everything comes down to a payment. You could reduce everything. How do I pay A to B? It needs to be fast. It needs to be fucking cheap. Okay. And XRP is it. It is super fast, super cheap. You could send XRP to someone in fucking China right now. What technology can do that in seconds? Nothing can stop it. Chinese government cannot stop it. Do you see? This is very,
Right
very
to the
powerful.
person you're paying, and then they sending you your goods.
Yes,
you got
and you could
control.
do business with people because, right? Say you do business with someone. What's the holdup every time? Who gets paid? You can pay people instantaneously. I mean, this programmatic technology, you can get paid per the millisecond. It's fascinating. It's above most of our heads. But yes, I mean, the value, hey, the hype, should I get this or should I not? Of course. Yes, it's only $3, $4. But think about like Ethereum. When Ethereum was just a few dollars to thousands of dollars, it only took 18 months. But you had to hold it for 6 years.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? If you buy XRP
Ethereum,
right now,
can I
you
add
might
to
catch the rip.
Ethereum is based on 90% meme coin.
No. They had paved the way for smart contracts, right? Because now we're talking agreements.
Yes, Ethereum has developed technology.
Yes.
They do. I know. I'm not saying they don't have technology, but they have a whole lot of meme coin too.
Yes, that they were able to launch decentralized applications through Ethereum. That's what made it so crazy. Okay, but yes, it's slow. It's expensive.
That they're adopting now, and that's why they're holding value because of, like you said, the
Oh no, they've
technology.
adopted. It's all XRP. It's all the third tier cryptocurrencies. Look something up called ISO 20022. This is the messaging standard for SWIFT, central bank messaging standard.
Right.
And so what tokens do they say? Yes, they talk about a certain group of tokens.
is going to be the most popular stablecoin.
Yes,
they got
it will be one of them.
Stablecoin.
Really, these coins though are all of these coins they setting up to make business autonomous. Like they're going to have whole autonomous like enterprises based off of smart contracts and AIs paired with the smart contracts.
So
that's what it's for.
But someone mentioned earlier, you can stake and get yield. Correct. Now, this technologies, your everyday bank is going to be starting a fight to stay alive. Okay, because they're competing against online crypto banks. Okay, or through exchanges. I mean, I've been pretty much cashless for a long time via crypto. Okay, still have to use cash, but mainly crypto. And so imagine, okay, this is going to become like the 80s again, where they're going to give you 15% on a certified deposit. 15 fucking percent.
Raymond, would you agree with this? They should start collecting. I was going to ask you a question.
No, go for it.
Would you agree with this? Cash is going to become like baseball cards or collector's items.
Well, see, I thought like that, but then again, it's like we've accepted the digital form of dollars as it is. It's already 95% cashless as it is. For example,
but I'm saying actual cash. is going to become like baseball cards. It's going to grow in value because it's going to cycle out. The first
Yeah,
domino is
they'll
going to be
cycle them
tossed,
out. Yeah.
you know.
Well,
So yeah,
when you start learning crypto lessons, right? They give you a story about the Swiss dinar and how the Bank of Switzerland basically backed it, and then the people didn't want it, and so the people still trade in money that have no value anywhere outside of that local area, right? And a lot of people got left with the bank money that they bought up because they're like, oh, it's backed by the bank. Of course, the people are going to use the banknotes, but no. So this teaches you about crypto. Basically, whatever we say has value has value. That's all it is. Whatever they tell you has value and they're going to use as value, it makes the other thing go out. That's it. That's
Right.
how it's going
Money
to do.
has certain properties, right? And so these digital monies have the same characteristics. So why does it have to be quote unquote physical? You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, they had planned this digital ledger stuff for many, many years. Okay. And now they're rolling it out. And this is the Main Street coming into, basically shove it down our throats to accept it, where it's like China. Go everywhere with your phone, QR code system, all that. Love it or hate it, it's coming. And the Ripple, yeah, it's going to be the heart of the system. Everything will be running through basically RippleNet, and
exactly.
it's like I said, this is the superior blockchain. If you read the writings of all the players, it's like half the people that work for Ripple and all this were Bitcoin developers. You see what I'm saying? And dude, this subject goes so fucking deep, guys. Like it's like because now there's key players being arrested / selling off their tokens. Now, why would they sell off their tokens? If you're telling me you're a founder and you have billions of these tokens, you're selling them at $3. Okay, sure, maybe you're forced to. Who knows? But my thing is that it's like the agreements. Like in order for this to go, these certain things have to happen. And yes, people who have large wallets.
He's got his seeds planted by flooding the market with them, and now starting a bank. Where are they going to come back to?
They ain't gonna let just anybody. They ain't gonna let just anybody have billions of dollars worth of motherfucking XRP is what that is. You know what I'm saying? They got, just like anything else, they have to be able to control it first. They're gonna let you get it first. They got to be able to control it. Kind of same way how they did.
By becoming a bank, they're going to start back in.
They also
they're going to make
control
rules about the unhosted wallets, gentlemen. The like your hardware wallets, these are considered what they call unhosted wallets. So your custodians via Coinbase or whoever, some type of fund, some type of a custodian, they're going to earmark your wallet as you know what I'm saying? Like if they know people, they're citizens with thousands of these tokens, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of these tokens, where does this money come from? I mean, look how they go to the bank right now. I want $5,000 of my money. Who, what, when, where, why, and how? Crypto eventually becomes something like that, I think, because it's like, oh my God, one XRP. Who the fuck has that?
It's already that. They're going to see every transaction. So what it does is it eliminates a whole lot of the black market. Pretty much, those are the ones that are going to be hoarding real bills, real money. Because the dominoes are going to start to fall. It costs more to make a nickel than it's worth. Then the quarter's going to be gone.
Sure, but okay. So say you wanna buy my house off me, okay? You're probably gonna give me a price in dollars.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's part of the problem. You have to say
you have that measure of increment, and you're always going to have that.
No, he's trying to tell you you're going to have to buy it with crypto. You're going to have to say
you can already do that. You can already do that.
No, I'm saying
that's what he said.
Everyday people like me and you and everyone in the chat and everyone listening in the world, if you want to buy a car or sell your car, take crypto. Buy it in crypto. Don't even use dollar terms. So that's why it's completely outside their realms. Because like I said, if you have a hardware wallet, all I do is I would just need your information in an email or some shit. Okay, payment's made, it's sent, sign some papers, boom, done. There's no fucking tax.
Well, that is
a transaction made right there.
Great transaction. So we become the financial institutions effectively that way. That's how it is. That's what the banks don't want you to do. So they control with what they call FOMO or fear, uncertainty, and doubt by telling you It's too volatile. It's dangerous. You're gonna lose everything. You're not smart enough. That's how they control it. That's why a lot of us are not in it already.
But
You
on
see
the
what I'm saying?
notion of that, right? Say if you have to move $1 million, you would need $1 million. Okay. There was a time where to move $1 million, you need so many millions of Bitcoin. You see? And so now you say, okay, regardless if it's $1, one Bitcoin, it's the value that is being transferred. Okay. So XRP is this value transfer mechanism. It could be $1 million. They're going to throttle the motherfucker up. If they want it 10,000, 20,000, it's going to be so. They'll just set the price.
It's going to go up.
Just like gold. Gold and metals are all determined, and it's agreed upon price at the mercantilism, level. The CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, they set the price of gold and commodities. So there's this big talk: are cryptos commodities? Some of them are, and if they are, they're going to set the fucking price.
Well,
We need it now at 10,000 because let's say, hey, people need to move.
That argument to make it to take it away from the commodities and put it under their jurisdiction as a security. That's what the banks are pushing. That's what the banks are pushing for. But I think they were just stalling so that they could.
Yeah, that was a rule. You're right. It was part of the plan because, like he's telling you, it's gonna have global adoption for banks. So they're gonna need it to have a certain value on it to transfer billions of dollars or
trillions
or hundreds of. There you go, trillions of dollars. They're gonna need it to be at least 10,000 or 20,000 per coin to keep the count down because there's only gonna be so much available.
Right.
Darlingham said they're gonna move 15% of Swift
with small denomination, right? That's why it's going to have value. So it's only a matter of time before it skyrockets. So if you can get it at $3, because they ain't going to be making all these transactions with $1 billion here and $1 billion there. They want it to have that value in smaller numbers so that they can operate efficiently.
Correct.
That's what. Yeah, kind of. He's still talking about for the people. And then you, Raven, you talking about on the business type of level.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Industrial scale use case where
that's two different conversations. Like that's what it is. But he don't understand it's a banker's coin. So for the people,
no, he's not gonna say that. He understands.
Who's it gonna cost?
No, you didn't let me finish. No, you didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish my statement.
You keep saying I don't understand what I'm saying.
No, but you didn't let me get to the second part because the stored value is what I'm saying that people is collect. But this is the value is going to go up not because it's a stored value, because it has usage, is what I'm saying with XRP. That's it. That's all I was saying.
Started with that. Yes, that's what I already.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Who's it gonna cost? Let's just say we get to the point, okay, we're using XRP. Like you said, it's the rail, right? But I'm still sending US dollars. I'm sending $500 to France. All right. So it's costing so much XRP to send that, right? Is it gonna be like a tax? Am I paying for that, or
no, sir? Let me explain this.
Is it like a transactional fee?
Let's just say you're a customer, right? And you sell transformers to some country, okay, in Europe or something, okay. And at that given time, you need to move $20 million. You don't give a shit about what the price is of this and that. You need to move $20 million at that very instant. The fastest way to do it would be XRP. You would go from point A to point B. It'd take 2 seconds, and it'd cost you 0.0001 XRP.
So that's the cost he's telling you. It's gonna cost 0.00.
The network cost, the network fee of actually
using the transaction.
Yeah, because you only need you're only exposed to the crypto volatility over 3 seconds, which is 0. You see what I'm saying?
It's that fast. It's lightning.
It's that fast.
Yeah, that's the natural burn of XRP is when the transaction happens and that feed happens. That's
I think the statistics. I think they're burning like 5,000-6,000 XRP per day. The entire network uses. The burn rate will go up. It's deflationary.
And depending on how much money I send, depending on how much XRP is needed and used. Correct?
But they
burn rate is translated into stable coin. You know what I mean? Where when the transaction hits the bank, it becomes stable coin. So the dollar is still there. You know what I mean? When you make that transaction, and anything that, the change, so to speak. When you get change back from a dollar, that's the stable coin.
Built
That's
within the
the liquidity, the
built within
He
the
was
final.
talking
XRP
about.
ledger is a decentralized exchange. So you can go to whatever. You want to go to gold, you want to go to digital dollar, euro, some stable coin, whatever, you can. So it's just how do you transfer the value from A to B? They use that consensus mechanism. It's part of their
But
coding. Okay.
the homie
And
was no, Raymond. He was
it's not
asking.
proof of work. It's not Bitcoin, guys. Okay. XRP is not Bitcoin. Just to let you
He was
guys know.
asking. He was asking you, does the fee depend on how much money he sends? Basically, do the
No, it's
zero
all the
sum.
same, dude. No, it's all the same. It's 0.0001. You see what I'm
Something
saying?
1, 3.
It's
Yeah,
it's
that's what.
virtually nothing. And they built this system to last 1,000 years, strangely. Assuming the whole world's on board using it full throttle. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, well, if it burns and uses this many transactions and all this, what's next, right? Because first off, at the current levels it's at right now, it'd be like, oh God, that's the reason why it's going to be a lot higher. You see what I'm saying? You're going to move a lot less of them. You
I
see,
found
because
out
it's
learning. I found out learning about just say I'm just entering this, Raymond, real quick. I found out learning about crypto too. Not like ecosystems that have utility when they're first starting out, they will literally pay you just to participate in the ecosystem. So they will give you sometimes thousands of dollars in the beginning of the company just for you participating and holding it. You don't even have to do much. They just give it to you. So that's why you should
yeah.
get into crypto also.
Well, I mean, XRP, Ripple, they don't need us at all.
No.
It wasn't
Now,
made for us.
here's how I feel about our our position, right? We should just looking to hold it to, like he says, let it blow up. Just keep getting accumulate as much as you can. That's just uh my thoughts. Accumulate as much as you can. Don't try to trade it. You're getting it for $3. You know what I mean? And that's not going to stay for, indefinite amount of time. And then hold it. Get as much as you can before it goes up, and then hold it. And then when you feel like you're comfortable, your exit strategy, hey, test the market, cash some of it out, help the fam.
Yeah, that's all investment stuff I don't want to speak on. I mean, that's a great strategy and all. But for me,
Yeah,
I can only say, look at the wallet statistics of all the XRP wallets that are out there. There's not that many. Okay.
it's not.
So to be in the top 10% of XRP holders, how much do you even need to have? 500 to 1,000. Okay, right now the prices have changed. It used to not be shit, but now it is. 500 is
Right.
like what, over $1,500.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If
We
people
can
can
still get that.
get there.
And that
If
gets
you
you
get,
at least like
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You don't
500,000,
have
a
to have $1
million.
million to start.
but
Just
look,
start.
1,000 times 1,000's a million. If
Yep.
you can get to 1,000, wait to $1,000 and fucking sell your ass off. That's your
Exactly.
exit
Exactly.
strategy. You
Exactly.
know, and what I'm saying is, hey, look, you rather have some than none, because you're gonna wake up. It's gonna be an early Christmas in fucking July, where it's like,
Hmm.
oh shit, you just wake up and who would have thought? I've heard these people talk for fucking years. I stared at it in the face at 20, 30 cent for fucking years. You tell everyone till buy, they never buy. And then now it's 350, 360, 370. Guess what? Everyone's like, hey, is it a good time? And well, it's different. It's different then till now. Okay,
Hmm.
that's then. Here it is right now at 3. It's still a good buy. Believe it or not, it's still a good buy, even at current prices right now. Yeah, it's pulling back by the dip, sure. But what I'm saying is that, you know, hey, $3, that's real high. Yeah, it's at the old all-time high. It's actually still in a very safe zone. It hasn't even barely tested it. And that's where they're gonna fucking throttle this motherfucker up, dude. It's just flip the switch, dude. It's all corporate. It's everyone's following a schedule. It's every lockstep, boom. They're all doing the same moves. You see?
And
And
me,
yes, what drives the price? Real life utility. That is the only fucking thing that will drive XRP price, is when they start actually moving trillions of dollars through this network. It's in all the documents. You can fucking dig them up, dude. Central bank this, U.S. Treasury this, la 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 la. The board of directors of Ripple, half of them are fucking Treasury members, U.S. Treasury members, former. Pull out your
and every
bills.
and everybody can do
They
it.
know.
I was a
They
fast food
know.
cook. I
Yeah,
was a
go
fast
pull out
food
your
cook
money right now.
stacking
There's a
up mine.
lady under Obama. Her name was Rosie Rios. Okay, she was the Treasury of making money, right? She was in the Treasury. She's now on the board of directors of Ripple. You see what I'm saying? And what does she say? Train has left the station. There's, they've crossed the Rubicon, dude. They're behind the banking firewall, dude. This is the new system all these banking people talking about. Oh, there's this new system we're supposed to be using. This
Hey,
is it.
let me piggyback on that. So now that train done come to your station and they stop, and you can get on board for $3, or you can let that train go and you may never see it again.
Yeah, you'll never see it again, dude. But here's the thing. If you don't plan to hold this shit for the rest of your life, don't get started. Seriously, because come big rises comes big dumps. If you can't handle 90% retrace, don't be in crypto. That's what will happen. I went through many cycles of this shit, dude. I mean,
That's
it's
what I
real
was
life
just trying to
money,
say.
dude.
You gotta know what's enough for you to live good. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying?
want to
Like,
know how
Yeah,
much
that's
profit you're going to take.
if you're too greedy to let go, then yeah, you might end up back at zero. But if you could have got off and just lived the rest of your life,
let me
would he not? Some
let me tell
people,
you
they
let me tell
don't
you some
have
stories.
a top end that they could, the greed is just so hard, for them to let go.
That's
But
part of
this
the
is why
market
you
too,
should get into
bro. Fear and
crypto.
greed.
Chat and listeners in the world, I'll put my piece out there and I'll mute my mic. I'll share this story where, on the job, talking to some guys, talking crypto, preaching. Man says, "Hey, have you ever heard of this coin called Dogcoin?" I go, "Yeah, Dogecoin, you mean?" He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Is it any good?" I go, "There's a lot of hype behind it. You hold it." So, do you have any? He goes, "Yeah, but I don't know how many I have. I kind of forgot about my wallet. I don't know. I don't know. He's got to look into it." A couple months later, Elon's on the news, Dogecoin, this and that. I get a phone call. My buddy's like, "I can't get in my wallet. I need your help." Okay. Get over his house, look at his wallet, not doing shit, but it's doing something. Okay. And what's it doing? It's trying to connect to nodes. I said, "Well, quote unquote, Mike, let me tell you, you have an old fucking wallet, dude. And now it has to basically, the blockchain has to basically synchronize to your wallet. And it may take days, right? So he's fighting the prices, right? This shit could fucking dump. Wallet fucking opens, million Dogecoin. What do I do? What do I do? Sell. Fucking sell.
Immediately.
No, it's gonna hit $1. It was at 78 cents. It's gonna hit $1. Okay. Okay. Guess what? 2 days later. Ray, oh my God, it's 45 cents. What the fuck do I do? Sell, motherfucker, now. Okay. How do I do that? Let me show you. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. How much do I sell? I don't know. That's on you. I can't tell you how much you sell. No, you did have 1 million. Now you have fucking, 480,000, whatever. You need to buy this thing called XRP. Okay. What else? XLM. What else? XDC.
Mm-hmm.
What else? H bar. What
There you
else?
go.
What's XDC
Algorand.
though?
What's
What's
that?
XDC? What's
These are more
XDC?
commercial.
XDC was originally from it's from Zinfin, okay, and this has basically been incorporated by R3 Corda. They're like one of the primary security settlement brokers in the world, okay, and yeah, they're the native settlement token they're using on their platform is XRP, but they also use Zinfin. Zinfin's going to be used to settle derivatives,
Okay.
derivative trading.
And that's the biggest money out there, derivatives, right?
Fake money. Oh yeah.
Fake money. Okay, so we should get Zenfin too.
It's
So we should
digital
get Zenfin.
fiat.
And no, it's XDC, gentlemen. It's
It's
XDC.
XDC. Is that
Look up the
affordable right now?
ISO 20022 messaging standard. These are all the approved tokens that are going to be used for cross-border remittances through SWIFT. Now,
Hey,
Brad
if y'all
Garlinghouse
don't,
said in 5 years, they're going to capture 15% of SWIFT's volume. Means if they fucking transact 30 trillion a fucking day, dude, fuck, 15% of that. Okay, so now you have the market cap of crypto at 5 trillion. That's going to be an XRP only. What do you think the price going to happen? 5 years and buy it all at once, the last second? I don't think so.
Chat, if you're not taking notes, chat, you listen now.
But we'll be priced out probably before that happens. You know what I'm saying? If we don't get in now, we'll be priced out by the time that happens.
You will be priced out, yes. And there's a minimum on the wallet. You need at least 10. Doesn't sound like much now, but when they're $1,000, you need 10,000 just to have the wallet open. Can't even fucking use it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, just to have a wallet
open.
That
you talking about the XDC? That's what you're talking about.
XDC, yeah. But when there's Pepsi, there's Coke. That's what I'm saying. Stellar Lumens is the same. It's one of the same founders, Jed McCaleb. Same thing, dude. He was one of the Mount Gox guys. Split from there, made his own shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Roger Ver's, about to be imprisoned in Spain, dude. And guess what? He has 1 billion XRP. People forgot about that. Like almost everything in crypto, he's had his hands on. Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash. I mean, he's a powerful. Now the tide of power is changing, and they're going after all these crypto people. Look at these people. These people ain't killers, and you go after them. Why? Because he who holds the goal makes the fucking rules. They don't want the weird notion of people ain't playing by the game. That's what I'm saying. They're like, you have to relinquish it. You can't really hold that money. And as for them, as for us, I think at some point they will try to eventually put their dirty little fingers in all of our crypto. So if you can hide it somehow, you got to hide it. I'm not too sold on these cold wallets either. No, dude, because they can get fucking, dude, you can get into cold wallets, dude. You know what I'm saying? Now, 99% of people cannot. Yeah. I mean, like I said, dude, like, okay, hey, say you lost some Bitcoins or some shit, XRPs in a wallet. You can't get into it, but you need to get into it. If you're going to find someone that gets into it, right? You have $50 million in a wallet. That skinny motherfucker with all the tech, dude, what's he going to charge you to crack that wallet? 20% from the rip. So people better be wise, dude. It can't be a pooled thing. I know someone said, hey, I'll get our family's money together. It cannot be like that. This is individual basis. You see what I'm saying? Because if you hold the seed to the funds, you have all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would be that the person. Yes, that's what I'm saying. They have to be a trustworthy person of the family. Because I'm only saying that to people who don't want to do
I know what you mean. They can't deal with the tech. It's too far over their head. I know what you mean. My mom's the same way, dude.
But my
listen,
mom too. That's why cold wallet is, and it's a security measure. It's not something.
It is. It's another barrier. I agree. It's another security measure. But like I said, like, hey, there's been people, right? They're not reading the fine print on these exchanges and their terms and use. Okay, where here, dude. Do you read about deposits? Did you read about withdrawals? Did you read about inactive funds? Did you see what I'm saying? In terms of volatility. Guess what? If people don't know, okay, whatever the XRP price is, it's whatever they're going to allow you to sell it at, unless you know how to programize the actual sell order. You see what I'm saying? Where, part of your trading strategy, it's going to hit $50. So you have about 200 ready to sell at $50. And it's just waiting. It's on standby. So whenever, the price kind of goes up, there it is. Now, here's this. Now,
there's also
XRP,
the option of balancing your money with RWA, real world assets. So, you could, instead of trying to accumulate $50 million, accumulate real estate.
Yeah, if it's your exit strategy, sure. That's the other half. I'm just saying the first to get to the door, you just got to get some. Yeah,
because he's saying during on the exchanges during times of market volatility, you may not be guaranteed to make the sale if you're.
That's correct.
That's what he was saying. So
now to consider an exchange to use, gentlemen. Here's the thing. They all have their requirements. They're know your customer rules. They need to know who you are and where you're going, your money wire transmitting, and all these rules they got to do. Okay, but some of these exchanges, they're like banks themselves, but there are some with advantages. Here's one with advantages. There's several. One is Gemini. Now, why do I say Gemini? Well, you go into the settings and you hit unrestricted crypto wallet, and you get verified, and now you have an unrestricted wallet. Means that if 10 Bitcoin come in your wallet, 10 Bitcoin can go out immediately.
Okay, I didn't know that about Gemini, but
the reason
people
don't know about this because they've never moved $10 million. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, now listen. That's real life shit, dude. Now here's another one is Uphold. Okay. Now they're a little bit Nazis about your funds, but that's kind of a good thing. Someone can't hack your shit and just drain your account, but they sell stocks there. They sell gold certificates and all that stuff there. They have all types of shit they do it there. And they're one of the few exchanges that have the blessing from the government. And so now we're going to be entering the age of federated coins, like regulated. You know what I'm saying? So these million cryptocurrencies go away, and there's only going to be maybe like 100 left. Okay. And I believe the flippening of Bitcoin is basically what takes the number one spot of Bitcoin. It's going to be like XRP and a whole group of other coins, some stable coins, and the coins that we mentioned.
They're going to filter out the main coin, though.
Yeah, they're going to go to fucking zero, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but here's the nod to the Doge is that there's only two coins that can work offline. You know the two? XRP and Doge. Yeah, XRP and Doge.
So some people were saying they think Doge is going to be used like since we're going to get rid of paper money, maybe like a 50 cents, or $1 maybe at the most, or like 25 cents.
Doge is a meme coin, though.
Yeah, it's a meme coin, but with the power of Elon, he basically made the running joke. I mean, something like Doge is just that much better than the dollar. And so he could take some shitty Dogecoin that has some type of, technical specifications, and it's perfect for his off-world network. Quote unquote off-world network,
That's a fan club coin. That's a fan club coin, basically.
It's a fan club coin, dude. Yeah.
Backed by one of the richest people on the planet, but at the same time,
you can buy some things with Doge also at some restaurants and stuff.
You can buy all types of shit with crypto, guys. I mean, it doesn't even matter which crypto it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
Yeah.
If you're going to invest, I don't suggest meme coin. That's just me.
You know what I was on before I found XRP? I was on AMP, and I found XRP trying to get away from AMP. I was like, I don't think this is going anywhere, and I started doing research.
Yeah, dude. Like, AMP is
not the way.
Nah,
always read the bio on your coin.
Okay, here's the thing about these ERC20 tokens. You want to hear something about these ERC20 tokens? And this is where they get everybody, dude. Like, you have these fake fucking price feeds of these fucking bullshit coins running real high and all this hype and stuff. Say you have 1,000 AMP, okay? And you want to move that AMP from Binance to Coinbase, right? Click. Guess how much you lost?
A lot.
20% network fees. Yep, that coin goes to zero. Do you see what I'm saying? Same thing with Ethereum, dude. Like, people were like, "Oh, Ethereum is this," and have you ever used Ethereum? People are like, "Oh, yeah, I have some." Like, no, have you used it? Have you actually moved it from point A to point B, either to yourself or paid someone in it or something? Like, has it been a good user experience? They can't answer that. And if they did, it's a terrible user experience.
In most cases, they don't know.
No, you're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to eventually. But the gas is gonna kill your profits if you have that. Like, it's gonna kill you. You're gonna be like, oh, what the hell?
You should get your most trusted stable coin and you can do purchases with that, and you can do purchases with your actual, but your asset.
No, well, I mean, it's just different strokes for different folks, dude. There's all types of use case where, like, the privacy coins mention, hey, dude, look, there is zero knowledge of this transaction happening. It's like, crack this code, motherfuckers. There's few coins that can do that, But even said, it's like, who developed these? This is all government shit, It's like I just don't trust it. Now, why I don't trust it is okay. You meet some people in your hood, right? They know you. They even calls you Satoshi, this, and that. And then, hey, could you believe it? They got into my Monero wallet. How the fuck they do that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like you thought you were slick, motherfuckers. That's what I'm saying. It's got government written all over it. You know, Zcash, all that shit, i.e., JP Morgan coin.
Uh-huh.
They have
They're
a
gonna
whole
steal your
umbrella of
money.
fucking coins, dude. You know,
Yeah,
they're
think
telling
about
you,
it.
oh, we're
All the
gonna.
corporations are trying to get their own coins started, like the
Dude, because
Walmarts,
here's the
the
thing, dude. If a bank can put
Amazon.
together some crypto network, you know, great, it works. Fire half the employees. You
That's
don't
what's
need
gonna
them.
happen.
It is.
What's gonna happen. So that's why they're gearing up. That's why so many people can't get jobs. I was a
Yeah.
cook for over 10 years. If places start telling me I'm not qualified for the job, I'm like, what? I've been working at so many places above this and I'm not qualified for the lower position. It's because the system is changing to be a certain way. They want you ordering DoorDash and all this delivery crap. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, but
coming
you
from
just got to resist that,
warehouse
dude. Just
stations.
say no, dude. Protest it. You know,
Yo,
fuck
they
no,
got a
dude. I'll walk
restaurant
10 miles before I do that.
They got a restaurant called Wonder where it got like 25 gourmet restaurants in one called Wonder. I'm like, I would never order from there. It shouldn't sound crazy.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all I got about the crypto, gentlemen. I mean, if unless someone has got a particular about the XRP and all this, I mean,
Well, I appreciate the added info because it's a discussion that I wanted people to see. I wanted people
yeah, you
to
just gotta get it. You
realize
just gotta.
what kind of
I'm
opportunity we have right in front of them right now. This ain't going
This
to
is an
right.
happen
opportunity
again.
of a
You know what I
lifetime.
mean? There's
I
no
also
redo of this. So it's either you in or you on the sideline in this situation. If you get distracted, by what's going on in the world, and when you could have saw a lot of people complain about not having, and this is an opportunity by your own hand to have something, and relatively, and you just got to have patience with it, you know, go in a little at a time and hold it, and then boom, let it.
Sanchez, do you listening? You need to buy some, dog.
he probably done fell asleep.
He probably
I
fell
hope.
asleep, boring,
Nah,
tired. Yeah.
he on the west side with me. He ain't sleepy yet. My
No,
boyfriend.
Yeah, but my closing thing on the crypto to all the chat is crypto no susu, okay? No susu, get crypto, okay? Don't trust no susu. The crypto gonna make you more money, all right?
But this is for the average working Joe right now. It's priced for the average working Joe to partake, and but it's not going to be out there forever. And once they start this thing up, it's going to be you're going to really have to come up with some chips to get in.
Is there any other cheap coins you recommend out there?
Yeah, Stellar, H bar, XDC. Those coins are like under $1 right now. They're under 50 cents. I bought in at 17 cents on one of them.
XBC, that's what I'm saying.
XLM, Stellar XLM. I bought in at like 17 cents on that. So and it's
Yeah, I got
40
that
cents.
shit at 11 cents. Yeah, 11
Yeah,
cents.
yeah. So I mean, there's other ones, and these are all going to be tied to usage. The utilities that are all going to be tied to usage. That's what I
You know
look
what?
at. You
H
could
bar.
go on YouTube. You go on YouTube and type in X bar. I mean H bar or XDC or XLM, Stellar XLM, and
H bar. H bar had actually crashed all the way down to like 2 cents from 22 cents or like 2 years ago, I think. And when it
up.
crashed, I was gonna buy some, but I ain't buying it. I knew it was gonna go back up to 20 cents at least. I would have been rich. I ain't do it though. I just got more. I was trying to stack on my XRP. but I should have turned my XRP into H bar and then turned the H bar into XRP afterwards. But I wasn't savvy enough to do that. But in the
No,
future, I'm gonna get
I
it.
wasn't either. I mean, it's not a question where you got to make money now if you pick the right ones and you already know what the right one is. You know what its usage is going to be. It's going to take over. You know, the Fed basically. It's going to take over. It's going to take over. You know, the whole. You know, the whole spectrum of how money's moved. It's going to take over all that, and it's going to be the utility that the rails for pretty much all of commerce. And you're gonna have your general, which is gonna be the XRP, and then you're gonna have your specifics like the XLM. That one's like a sleeping giant. The H bar, that's like a sleeping giant because once
It is. It's a baby
the
coin. It
machine
got most
turns
potential.
on, yeah, once it turns on,
You
because
know what they
they
gonna use that H bar for? You know what they trying to build around it? They trying to build a radar system for drones using the H bar. So all how they got all these drones have to be registered certain sizes to fly. They trying to make a radar for the drones just like they got for the airplanes because there's no drone radar system.
no,
So eventually,
most of those are for transactions inter internationally. You know what I mean? Like Stellar, like those are going to be going transactions outside. You know,
they own money. They bought MoneyGram in America.
mhm.
They
Cross
got some
border payment.
MoneyGram.
A lot of those are commercial cross border payment stuff. Not like
Yeah.
the other ones are going to be used broadly. XRP is going to be broadly, it's everybody, but it can do the whole spectrum. But then those other ones are specifically targeted at commercial. So they're gonna
So,
when they blow up, it's just gonna be sudden, like boom. You know, you're gonna look on there and they're gonna make headlines. And everybody's gonna know about them. But this is something they could have bought for pennies on the dollar right now.
oh,
You
what I was
know,
saying is everybody can't just hold it to invest because, like me, I started out holding it to invest, but I came and found some rocky times. But I gotta say, my crypto gains got me out of it. Like it was able to get me in the apartment. You know what I'm saying? I made a few $1,000s here and there, got me a car or whatnot. So it helped me out. But I'm gonna rebuild my stockpile. Like recently, I just sold my last little bit of XRP. I actually missed $700 because I sold it 1 week too early. I missed this little run up right here, but I had to do it. I regret that I missed it, but I had to do it. So it's all
but
good.
it
I got to get back in.
holding at $3 is like a dip, even though it ain't going. It got
Yeah, I
close
know.
to going under three, but it's holding right now at three. That's like a dip. You know,
It's
you can just
good.
jump back in what you can jump back in with and just keep, as long as you can afford to get in, and
Exactly. That's all that
and
matters.
then that
I'm gonna
is,
get in
yeah,
too.
like he was saying, it hasn't turned the wheels, the engine ain't running yet. You know, we got everything built up, and then, the cars all shiny, got chrome everywhere. But it ain't been fired up yet. The engine ain't running yet, so you still got a chance. It ain't too late.
Oh, to the chat too. Anybody, if y'all interested in cannabis, I got my little home grow going on my channel, The Frosty Jungle. So check me out. You know what I mean? I appreciate the views. You know what I mean?
Oh, you
Word.
got a channel?
Yeah, it's called The Frosty Jungle. I got some little plants and whatnot. I'm an amateur grower, you know what I mean? I've only been doing this for
Yeah.
like a year, but I just started my channel last month or whatnot, but it's doing all right, growing slowly. So, but I
All
just like
right.
enjoy doing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
Word. It's
that.
pretty fun, man. Word.
But that's what you're doing
Yeah.
right here. Is like you planting a seed right now. Grabbing that XRP or that the H bar. You can buy a lot of it. That's the difference. You can buy a lot of it and hold it. And that way,
Everybody who has listened to me, like you, like me and you, how we talking, like I would listen to you and we would listen to the other guy. Everybody who took that advice that we talking about, they all made thousands of dollars right now. You know what I mean? There's no way you're gonna miss out because this is real global utility and even if you don't understand it, just I know you feel things changing, so you're gonna make money. You gotta think like like he was saying too earlier. You were saying earlier, we gotta think like the rich folks, but we don't move millions of dollars, so we ain't thinking like that. But you just gotta
Right.
think like a billionaire psychopath. That's the thing. You gotta think like that.
Yeah. And I just want people to take advantage of it while they can, because, you can't sit around expecting that one day they're gonna have a change of heart and give out reparations. I just don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Hey man, I appreciate the bill, man. And everybody information, man. Y'all hit that, man. We got to do more of these, man. Educate the people, man. Thank you again.
Oh
Shout out to
man.
bro, man. I ain't never seen you be on no crypto, man. But shout out to you for putting it on. I appreciate it. Y'all boys stay up.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Already.
For sure.
One thing though is I can't wait, man, to actually see it happen. You just got to keep, seeing it happen, and you put yourself in a position where, hey, when it does, the sky the limit. Oh, there he is. Appreciate you, bro, for letting that build happen.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope
much love, man. Yeah, my mic was muted, man. Sorry about that, but yeah, I appreciate the bill. I think it's informative, and yeah, it's gonna inspire a lot of us to go and make that move. I know I am. So I
Yep.
know now to go on Coinbase and to do my thing, but it's some more stuff I need to learn about, the different types of wallets and shit like that. But yeah, it's definitely on. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. Shout out to y'all. We out of here, man. Shout out to y'all,
All
brothers.
right, man. Much love.
Much love, Marlon.
Much
For sure.
love. Peace, y'all. Peace.
Much love, Jack. Jason, appreciate that, man. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Appreciate you, Dan Tanner. Says, salute my Alabama bro. I love your content. Very observing and refreshing. Thanks, man. It's because I wasn't near the Zoom call. I was listening in from my phone, which is why I couldn't respond in time. I had to work my way back to the office, to the desk here. But Smitty, I do have more coming. Don't worry. I apologize for that. But I do got more of these coming. Peace and much love to you.